Hello, hello. Please let me know if the sound is okay. I'm hoping that the mic is working. I went a really long time on a live the other day with the mic muted. It wouldn't be a BB stream without doing that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let you all know that MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless is traveling again this week, so her signal is not that great. But she put together an amazing video for us to go over, and I'm excited about that. And she's here in the chat, so that's awesome too. Lucky Dog says, I can hear you. Thanks. Oh, man. I've been doing these gaming live streams just because I like playing the games. And so I've been going live doing that. And there's 5 things I need to make sure that I do before I go live when I play the gaming streams. And somehow I always forget 1 or 2 of those things. It's just like a must happen. Either the mic's muted or I forget to share the screen so nobody can see me playing the game. It's me. It's what I do. All right, let me get over here and start welcoming everyone. We have Char of Hearts, finally made it home. I'm glad she's home safe. We have Abandoned History Explorer. We have Oscar Adventure. If you all have not checked out Oscar Adventure, please go check them out. They have Oscar, the dog, rides in a basket with motorcycle goggles on, and they go everywhere on adventures together. It is the best content. It will make your heart smile. Go check it out. All right, we have, I gotta get down here. We have MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless. If you do not have MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless, her link is in my description on this video. You can go check her out. We have Donald, who looks forward to Sundays, as do I and Nettie. We love being here with you all. We have Lucky Dog Productions moderator, Sue, in the chat. Thank you so much, Sue, for being here. And we have Thrifty Angela. I've seen her. She's eating dinner. I hope it's a yummy, yummy dinner. All right, I'm scrolling down. We should be getting people coming in as I start the show. We have Tommy Travels, Hitch Up in Tow. Hello, hello. All right, so I'm going to get started. If I see everybody start popping in, I will. Oh, thank you, Hitch Up in Tow. Everybody starts popping in. I will try to say hello as they come in. Let's go ahead and add this to the stream. All right, Mansfield Reformatory, an abandoned state reformatory, is located in Mansfield, Ohio, USA. It is most commonly known as Mansfield Reformatory, and the state and the city managed to raise more than $1 million for its construction. Hey, Maggie. Hello, Linda Barker. Oh, thanks, Oscar. I appreciate that. It's the same channel, just a new channel name, but thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, K&R Destinations. All right. The original purpose of this prison was the humane rehabilitation of young offenders who committed their first crime. Interesting. I say this every time we do like an asylum or a hospital or a jail, but they're so beautiful. They look like castles. Why do reformatories, jails, asylums look so beautiful like this? And I guess jails don't, prisons don't anymore. They're more squared and basic now. But why did they build them so elegantly. Was it to hide the ugly of what was inside of it? I don't understand why they were built so beautifully. Oh, Bob, it looks like Lucky Duck Productions moderator says, have you been there? Bob and I took a tour a few years ago. Great tour. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I don't understand why they're so beautiful on the outside, though, when they're for the things that they are. All right. The architect was Letty T. Schofield from Cleveland, and various stages of construction work were carried out under the supervision of F. Snitzer. Snitzer? Y'all know my English ain't that great. I'm trying. All right. Work was repeatedly delayed due to the financial problems. So it took from 1886 to 1910 to complete the building. Now that's a long time. It's a beautiful building though. Okay, now look, the inside is not as beautiful as the outside, right? Because it's like a prison. Why do they make the outside back then? Why did they make the outside so beautiful like that? That place looks huge, though. Huge. Right as I said that place looks huge, Nettie said it's a pretty big place. Chip and Toes says it looks better on the outside. Yeah, it definitely looks better on the outside. I wonder if they thought if they made it look like a castle or like a beautiful place like that, the people driving by through town wouldn't realize they had like a prison there. You know what I mean? Linda said that she's not been there, but her niece did an overnight event there, and her daughter is going on an outdoor rock concert there in September. Oh, this is the one you were telling us about last week. Got it. Architect Levi T. Schofield designed the prison to resemble the old world castles in Germany. He did a good job. It does look like a castle. The prison was to be an intermediate prison, somewhere between the Boys Industrial School in Lancaster and the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus. It was to be used for first-time offenders, not hardened criminals. Oscar said Alcatraz. Chip and Toe said, I look at my kid's bedroom and my house looks better on the outside. Very true. Lucky Dog says, I would not do an overnight there. It was Snitzer who brought Schofield's project to life, using 3 architectural styles to create this distinctive building: Victorian Gothic, Richardsonian, Romanesque, and Queen Anne. The I'm probably not saying that word right, but Romanesque style in particular gives the outside of the building a castle-like feel. Oscar said, set up your reservation. I think it'd be cool to go to a concert there. Wow. That is beautifully antiqued and creepy looking. The walls like have things growing on them. It's interesting. It is so beautiful on the outside, Nettie. It just blows my mind. Oscar said, crazy looking. The prison finally opened its doors on September 15th, 1896. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, there were many offenders. Hitch Up and Tell says, I think they built buildings like this so they could tell great ghost stories. They put, what are those gargoyles? They built castles and put gargoyles up in the tops of them so they could tell ghost stories and make everything so creepy. Oh man. Sorry, I hit the button and we went all the way back. There we go. I'm skipping over this part because we already read it. All right. The correctional facility's first intake was 150 prisoners, although it ultimately went on to hold a peak of 5,235 prisoners. These first inmates were set to work immediately on the walls and the sewage system. It looks so much bigger than that, but looks like other places we've seen like that were about this size held more people than that, but that just looks terrifying. If you were scared of heights and you went to that prison and you had to stay like on that top part, you had to walk. See, those are the type of stairs where someone can reach through. The goblins and the ghouls can reach through and grab your feet when you're walking up the stairs. No. So the stairs already got me going, no. And then how high that place is, forget about it. And the rusted metal, I know it wasn't rusted when they first put it in, but it's rusted now. It's terrifying. Scary. There were two large cell blocks in this prison, the east cell block and the west cell block. The east cell block at 6 tiers high, holds the record as the largest freestanding steel cell block. The front stairway is also made of carved steel, a feature that helps prevent fires. I get the whole prevent fires thing, but 6 tiers high, imagine if you're scared of heights and they put you up on the 6th floor, the 6th tier. That would be terrifying. I'd be more scared of the showers and then jump into, oh, that's funny. And then just think if your toilet overflowed and you were on the first floor. Oh no. Nettie said, it's crazy high. That's insane. Oh my, I can't imagine. I'm scared of heights. Now I would do like jumping out of an airplane because once you're up there and you jump out, like if you make it to the ground, you're supposed to live. If you don't, you weren't. But it's also like a quick fall thing. I can't do things where I'm stuck up at that height. That's where my fear of heights come in. So like if I'm waiting on a ride and I have to go up and stand up high on like a platform or something, I can't stand there and wait. But I can ride the ride as long as I can get on it right away and not have to stand there. So having to sleep in the 6th tier jail cell, no way. I'd be having panic attacks every day. I guess jail's not supposed to be comfortable though. I mean, despite the fact that the penitentiary's purpose was initially, this is a lot of words. Okay. Despite the fact that the penitentiary's purpose was initially well-intentioned, almost immediately the prison's reputation and conditions deteriorated. Prisoners claim that there were many illnesses and plenty of violence. I don't know why that was all so hard for me to say, but my tongue got very twisted. Can you imagine being an inmate? I don't think I could. I don't think I could like deal with. No. I've never even really. I got my first speeding ticket when I was like 35, so no, I can't imagine being an actual inmate either. Tommy Travel said, "What about going on top of the arch?" I have gone up in the arch a lot. I don't like the ride going up in the cart, but once I'm at the top, I do okay. Again, I don't know, it's weird. My fear of heights is just weird. All right, that was a lot of I words. There's a lot of I's in that sentence. That's what my problem was. That's what I'm going to blame it on. All right, moving on. It looks so creepy on the inside, though. It's just such a tall area. Whew. Even though the reformatory was an intermediate prison, it had its fair share of death and violence. 2 correction officers were killed in the line of duty on prison. 2 correction officers were killed in the line of duty on prison grounds. Oh, I thought that said guards. My brain. Well, they always say like that if you put a kid that made a mistake in jail, that they'll learn to be worse because they're surrounded by other bad kids. So I guess that makes sense that even though they were first timers, once you put them all together, they come up with some nasty bad plans. I don't know. Also, small, solitary cells with a toilet and a bed were built for the punishment of prisoners. Sometimes more than 100 people could be locked in such cells for several days. Oh my gosh, 100 people in solitary confinement for several days at a time. This is just like jail. I mean, other than it has first timers, I mean, it's the same thing as a jail. Never had a speeding ticket, got a failure to yield in a car accident in which, despite we're both, Char of Heart's a good driver too. She's gone a long time without speeding tickets. Yeah, I'm not much of a criminal, so I don't know how jail would suit me. Probably would not suit me at all. They Looking at the bottom of these floors that prisoners were standing on is terrifying to me. Then he said it's pretty big for first timers. Yeah, I mean, it is huge and it looks like a real, if I had solitary confinement, it is a real prison. I don't know. It's the size of this place is blowing my mind. I know I keep repeating that. I'm sorry. On November 2nd, 1926, a paroled inmate returned to the prison and shot 72-year-old prison guard Urban Wilford in an unsuccessful escape attempt. Wait a minute. So a guy who was paroled came back to the prison and shot a 72-year-old prison guard. Was he trying to break his friends out? Is that what was going on? I'm so confused. The murderer, Philip Orlick, was arrested 2 months later and was oh my gosh, I can't speak today. The murderer, Philip Orlick, was arrested 2 months later and was executed in the Mansfield Reformatory electric chair a year later. Wait a minute, why do they have an electric chair if it's like a first-time offense prison? I'm so confused. They say that this is like well, I guess that's why they had a bad reputation. Because they said it was like for first-time offenders, but they have solitary confinement. They have an electric chair. Like, what the heck? Yeah, exactly, Hitchapinto. What are prisons like for perpetual criminals? I mean, that's blowing my mind. Donald said these buildings were built by Japanese American. They had been in American military places during the World War II, kept away from other Americans. Maggie said because he killed a guard. Yeah, I get that, but I would have thought they would have like taken him to a different prison because he wasn't a first-time offender at that point. He was a first-time offender when he was in there, but then when he came back and did another crime, so on and so forth, he should have been in a different prison. And that's where the electric chair should be, not in a first-time criminal place. I don't know. Hello, our RVing adventures. Welcome to the chat. Old Sparky. It is on display there. Ooh. Okay. Let's keep going. Is that the basement? The solitary confinement area? Creepy. Hey, KNR Destinations. The prison was considered to be one of the best in the country at the time that it was built. But by 1933, the prison had become overcrowded and the living conditions had deteriorated. A 48-year-old prison guard named Frank Hanger was beaten to death with an iron bar during an escape attempt by 12 prisoners on October 2nd, 1932. Two of the inmates, Merrill Chandler and Chester Probasky, were found guilty of the guard's murder, and both were executed in the electric chair in 1935. I'm so confused about a first-time offense prison having an electric chair. It's blowing my mind. I am doing good, KNR Destinations. How are you tonight? Tommy Travels, is there any electric chair not named Old Sparky? Oh, that's bad. That's bad, but that was really funny. I don't think she was saying the chair was named Old Sparky, but I could be wrong. Was the chair named Old Sparky? Am I that slow that I didn't catch on that the chair's name was Old Sparky? Oh my goodness. Okay. Since we have a bunch of people that have popped in as I've been going along, I wanted to announce again, if you have not checked out Oscar Adventure channel, please go check them out. Oscar is the dog who rides in the basket and has these little motorcycle goggles, and Oscar and his owner from Oscar's Adventure will be going on a journey across the United States on the bike soon. So it'll be a cool journey to follow along with. So check them out if you haven't just yet. And we'll keep going here. I love antique type buildings, like rusty old buildings. But this one has so much rust. I mean, I get why it's not in use anymore, but and it just makes it so much creepier when they're rusty like that. Imagine being down in that hallway in the dark, or even with the lights on. Look at the very end of that hallway, how dark it is. It'd be terrifying. Or if you were in one of the places where it has the six cells high. By the time you look up there at the ceiling, it'd be dark, it'd be creepy. Thrifty Angela, how was dinner? July 21st, 1948 was a dark day at the reformatory in the reformatory's history. 2 former inmates, John West and Robert Daniels, kidnapped the prison's farm superintendent, his wife, and their 20-year-old daughter from their home on the Honor Farm. Uh-oh. The pair then murdered the entire family in a cornfield off Fleming Falls Road. West and Daniels, known as the Mad Dogs, went on a 2-week crime spree, leaving 6 people dead. They were later found near Van Wert, where a shootout resulted in the death of West and Daniels. Capture. Hello, Three Souls Paranormal. 3 Souls investigated that place 3 years ago and had some crazy experiences. I know that I keep talking about how this was a first-time reformatory. This was the first-time place where people went when they did their very first crime. But how many of them trying to escape? Like, wouldn't you just kind of sit back and, well, I guess because the conditions were so bad and stuff, that's why they were escaping. I don't know. Just seems to me like if you were a first-time criminal, you wouldn't be as bad as like a 6-time repetitive criminal, but I guess I'm wrong. The patina looks beautiful. Yes. Dinner was good. We made goulash. That sounds good. All right. First time caught. That's true. Man, I can't imagine one of those steel doors closing behind me. Ugh. No, thank you. 3 Souls said, our REM pod was going off in my hand with no battery in it on the 2nd level of solitary confinement. Oh my gosh. Also, there's more than one level of solitary confinement? Well, I guess there would have to be because there was 100 people in there at one time. Wow. This place is huge. Both cases were people that served their time and came back to murder. Weird. Right, Tommy Travels? That's kind of what I was thinking. Daniels was later executed in the electric chair. In November 1950, the warden's wife was reaching into a closet looking for her jewelry box. When she removed the box, her hidden pistol fell to the ground, discharged, and fatally wounded her. Wait a minute. Okay, so he didn't. I'm going back. 1 second. 2 former inmates, John West and Robert Daniels, kidnapped the prison's farm superintendent, his wife, and the 20-year-old daughter from their home. Okay, so I got that. I thought that they harmed them. They didn't, though. The pair murdered the entire family in the cornfield. They did murder them. They were later found near Van Wert, where a shootout resulted in the death of West, and then Daniels was captured. I'm so confused. Hold on 1 more second. Daniels was later executed in the electric chair in November of 1950. The warden's wife. So is this a different person? The warden's wife, is she different than the person that was kidnapped? I'm guessing she was. She seems to fatally have shot herself. The luck at this place is terrible. 3 Souls says, and after I put a new battery in it, it starts going off with the red and blue lights, and I asked if it was demonic, and all the lights went off. Ooh, that's terrifying. Maggie says yes. So I guess it's yes, that's a different person. Lucky Dog says the new Mansfield Correctional Institute was built next to the old reformatory. You can see the exercise yard from the chapel windows in the old building. The new one is minimum security. Oh, man. Maggie said the first one was a farm supervisor. Ah, gotcha. By the 1950s, they were calling the electric chair elderly Sparky. Oh, man. I guess I was thinking this was a minimum security because they were first-time offenders. Nettie says it's a different person. It was the superintendent family murder. Gotcha. The warden died from a heart attack while in his office a few years later. In the area known as the Hole, solitary confinement, 2 men were once placed into the same cell. Only one emerged alive. The other had been killed and stuffed under the bunk. Can you imagine? Like, I don't want to share this room with you, so I'm just going to kill you, and then so I don't have to look at you, I'm going to stuff you under the bunk. Jeez. First-time criminals is what we're talking about here. I know I keep saying that, but these are first-time criminals. They're awfully violent. Three Souls said, we stopped the REM pod session and left, walked down the stairs, and this group of women was below us, and their flashlights started flickering on and off, and they screamed. They seen a black shadow figure follow us down the steps. Ooh, terrifying. Terrifying. Man. The inside's definitely got the looks of a haunted place. A man hanged himself in the hole, and another set himself on fire. How did he set himself on? Never mind. I don't even want to know. But the man set himself on fire. Many other prisoners died behind Mansfield Reformatory's large stone walls. Some from disease, others from violence, and some by their own hand. Hitchup and Toe said how to make a criminal. Send them to the reformatory place. That'd be how to make a murderer, apparently, because they all come back and murder after their time's up. The prison cemetery just beyond where the walls stood contains over 200 prisoners who perished while incarcerated. 200 prisoners in the cemetery. Holy cow. And that's crazy. This place is beautifully haunting. The prison is said to be extremely haunted both by the many inmates who served their time there and by the employees who worked there. The prison has been featured on several paranormal-related television shows, including World's Scariest Places. And you need to be no ghost there to be scary. Just try going up on the 6th floor of cells. That's enough to be scary. World's Scariest Places. I agree. Three Souls said this place is huge and honestly terrifying. It looks terrifying. The magnificent architecture of the reformatory has been noticed by Hollywood, and the building has appeared in several movies. Filming for Harry and Walter Go to New York took place there in 1975, and in 1988, Filming took place for Tango and Cash. Harry and Walter Go to New York was filmed there? Three Souls says Shawshank Redemption was filmed there. The outside just doesn't look like a prison to me, but I know that's because it was back in the day and they build prisons different now. It just doesn't look like a prison. Outside, inside definitely. The prison was still in operation in each of these movies. Wow, they filmed there while it was in operation? Most well-known film, Shawshank Redemption, was shot in 1993. It is interesting to note that Shawshank Redemption did not use the cell blocks in the film. All of those scenes were shot elsewhere. Who in their right mind thought that anyone leaving this establishment would be a benefit to society? Apparently, they wanted back in there so badly, they came back and murdered to get in there to help other people escape. I mean, how many cases did we just read about that did that? Insane. Oscar's got Tommy. Awesome. I can't believe it was still like it. We've got prisoners breaking in to try to help other prisoners escape. We got prisoners murdering our staff. But hey, come on in and film your movie. What? Seems like a good idea. Oh, that looks comfy. Looks like a real comfy, sturdy bed there. Prison cell 18. Filming for Air Force One took place in 1996 and included the construction of a fake, I'm just using the word fake, prison wall and some other props. The band Godsmacked filmed their Awake music video at the prison in 2000. That was filmed at the prison? Thrifty Angela said, I'll never look at that movie the same. Exactly. I sent a message to you on your last video. Okay, Oscar, I'll check that out. Soon after the filming of Shawshank Redemption, the state demolished all of the outbuildings and the prison wall. Being on valuable property, the state of Ohio wanted to use the land to expand the new Mansfield Correctional Institute, located just beyond the old reformatory. What are they going to do? Use both buildings? Like, how are they going to expand it? I'll keep reading. Cells intended for one person bunked 2, sometimes 3 inmates. A lawsuit was filed in 1978 against the prison on behalf of the 2,200 inmates incarcerated there. After being tossed around in the court system for years, it was determined that it was unfit to serve as a prison. Hey, Aaron. Thanks for stopping in. Wow. I just don't understand why they built, and I know I keep saying some of the same stuff over and over again, but why they put so much beauty into a prison. Like, imagine that. back in its heyday, before it was all rusted out like that. That would have been beautiful and really, really nice. It's in a prison. I don't understand. Nowadays, they build like rectangular box type prisons. So I don't know. All right, keep going. Eventually, civil rights activists managed to get the prison shut down. In 1986, the U.S. federal court issued an order to close the prison, but the facility only closed in December of 1990, which was when the construction of a new facility directly opposite the old prison had been completed. So they're like, yeah, we'll close the old one as soon as we open our new one, even though we're not fit to run a prison. Okay. Donald said, do you remember Eastwood used part of this prison in his second Dirty Harry movie? The actor playing the mayor was put in a cell. Interesting. Seriously though, like they lost a lawsuit, had to shut down their facility. They didn't shut it down until their new one opened. So technically, like, they were just like, yeah, we're not good at running a prison, but we're going to open another. But I don't understand. In 1995, the Mansfield Reformatory Preservation Society, MRPS, was founded to turn the prison into a museum. The former prison has now opened its doors to the public and offers organized tours. The goal is to restore the building and protect against further destruction. So they're like, yeah, we're going to make money off the new prison and we're going to make money off the old one. Oscar's dying to go for a ride. Aw, go take Oscar for a ride. Oscar is so cute. See, again, this is gorgeous, beautiful. I don't understand why they do such beautiful buildings in prisons. Currently, not only excursions, but also various events are held on the site of the former prison. Visitors can even see some of the scenery that remained after the filming of the movie The Shawshank Redemption in 1994. After this film made the prison famous, it became the location for several movies, television shows, and videos. Tommy Travels says, that was before the cookie cutter buildings we are used to today. Architecture was a bigger deal back then. Yeah, it seems like the more we are doing these dives into history and stuff, the more I'm realizing how Oscar heard me say that. That's funny. It seems like the more we're diving into the history, the more we're seeing how much, I guess what I'm trying to say is they wanted to look affluent or like the better the castle, the better the architecture, the more money you had. So maybe that was a way of like flaunting wealth, but I don't understand even back then why they would flaunt wealth on a prison. I guess the state was flaunting its wealth. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I do agree that we do have much more cookie cutter type prisons now. I don't think they're as expensive to build, which just to me makes more sense. So you wouldn't want to spend a ton of money for prisoners. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making any sense at this point, but my mind knows what it wants to say, but it's not really coming out. Tours are available at the site, and a haunted attraction is hosted every Halloween season. Okay, so You can go there and explore. It's already haunted, but they're going to make it even spookier and make it a Halloween attraction. Hey, Traveling Gilberts, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Hitchup and Toe said, who is worse, the criminals or the state? That is a very good question. I don't know. I see the criminals are murdering people currently, and that's not good. I guess not all criminals murder people. See, look at this. That does not look like a prison. We have looked at so many buildings like this where it's like, that is not a prison. That is not an insane asylum. That is like a mansion, a castle, a beauty. I don't understand. Lucky Dog said they also do tour of the filming sites for Shawshank Redemption throughout Mansfield and the surrounding area. The old prisons are definitely nothing like the new prisons. That is for sure. Look at this place. Just look at this place. Oh, it started over. Doo-doo-doo. Pause. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. The ceilings, everything is just amazing. And I don't understand how that was the thought that came to mind when building a prison back in the day. But thank you, MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless, and thank you for putting together all this information. I absolutely love being shocked and in awe and not really knowing all that much until we get into it and look through it. I love learning all of this stuff with everyone. Sometimes the audience here knows a little bit more than I do. Traveling Gilbert said it's gorgeous. Looks like our summer cottage, says Hitchup and Toe. Can you imagine? Also, like, what if you were rich enough to buy a place like this and remodel it and make it your home? Like, you had the money to turn, instead of building a new mansion somewhere, you had the money to remodel this and turn it into your mansion. That would be incredible too. I don't know. And buildings were built so well back then. Like, this thing's still standing and it still looks absolutely gorgeous. So I don't know. It just amazes me. Lucky Dog says, Bob did a video from when we toured it, but it is mostly just a picture slideshow as we didn't film videos then. Lucky Dog, if you can find that video and drop a link in the description or a link in the chat so people can go check that out and see all the pictures you took, that would be great if you have a moment to do that. Last week, I didn't know, let me find this here for just a second. Last week, I didn't know that, Day's Great Adventure usually does a premiere after my live, and I didn't know that. They don't have a premiere coming up this week, but next Sunday we'll go over there and check out their premiere after the live. We know K&R Destinations comes on in an hour, so we have a little bit of a break here before anybody comes on. Hitchup and Toe says, love these lives. Oh, thank you. Tommy Treble says, the inside's like my summer cottage. You're all invited. Maggie says, so cool, great live. Way to go, Nettie, on the research and the PowerPoint. Yes, Nettie does such a good job on that. I absolutely love it. Aaron said, that's bigger. That's bigger than the family home in Alabama. So we had talked about a place that there was a Jemison, and Nettie had went there, and our Epic RV Adventure had seen it too. And we had talked about it, and then Aaron Jemison actually was able to go there and tour, and it's his family name is this place. So definitely, if you have not seen Aaron's video yet on that, he just recently put that out. Go check that out too. It's a really good one. Yes. So Day's Great Adventure premiere every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time after me. So we'll have to remember that. And then here, Lucky Dog Productions put in the Mansfield Reformatory tour that they have. So definitely go check that out too. And then I will be back on later tonight. I have another game that I started. It's not as spooky as the last one. It's kind of adventure clue game, but there is a little bit of murder mystery in it too. So I'll be on later on tonight to play a little bit more of that game. But other than that, I really appreciate everyone coming in tonight and hanging out. I absolutely love Sundays. Oh, no problem, Lucky Dog. If you ever want to post a link to anything, you go right ahead. But with that being said, everybody remember to go on over and check out K&R Destinations in an hour. They'll be doing a live, and you need to let them know what made you smile today. Wishing you all much kindness and much love. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.